Welcome back, everyone. So now today for our final Girl Power preview review, we'll be going over the secret rares and the returning reprint cards, which are all very alternate art and shiny from what I'm told. So first off, let's dive right into this. We have Acid Screen. This is a Mina 3 secret rare. It's a 5 difficulty, 3 control, 4 high for 7 with a +2 mid block. It's got Mina 3 symbols of Death, Void, and Water. It's got a ranged keyword and deflect 4, so after your rival's block step of an attack, you can add it to your card pool, face up, from your hand for no cost, no check, and that attack will get -4 damage. So that's pretty solid. It has a static effect that says face down cards do not count towards the progressive difficulty to play this card. So that's good, both offensively, it won't add to your progressive difficulty, and defensively, any face-down cards in your card pool don't count towards increasing the difficulty of your check to block. It says enhance. If there is a face-down card in either player's card pool, draw 1 card. I'm getting real tired of this. I'm real tired of all this free draw. But this means, even though Mina 2 stocks were already going up thanks to Mina 3's kit, this does so even more because it's more draw for Mina 2 on Death and Water. And this says Mina 3 has a big dunk that doesn't care about the face-down cards in her card pool. Next we have a Jiro secret, Audio Reverberation. I love the black. I love that for the secrets they're kind of color-coding them now with the borders. And I dig the black. I think the black is going to look really good hollowed out. This is a 5/3, 4 low for 7 instead of a 4 high for 7, and a +2 mid block. It's got Jiro 3 symbols of Void, what am I doing? All Good and Order. It's got Charge, EX2, Ranged, and Tech. It says Response Card Pool, so this is a response you can activate in your card pool, while this card is in your card pool. After your blocked attack resolves, your charge attacks get +1 damage this turn. So this counts not only if it itself is blocked, but then, so say you open with this, it gets blocked. Your charge attacks get +1 for the damage for the rest of the turn. If your next one is blocked, you can respond again, and now your charge attacks get +2 damage for the rest of the turn. And you can just stack up on that as long as you can keep playing cards. This is a really dangerous ability. This is really, really cool. Then it says enhance. If this attack deals damage, your rival adds 1 committed foundation to the bottom of their deck. Alright, if it's committed, it's already not doing you any harm, but it does debuild them if you can't kill them this turn. And then another enhance. If your rival has 8 or more foundations, they add 1 ready foundation to the bottom of their deck. That's a good way to try to help this deal damage. Yeah, that's spooky. So this is a really cool, powerful charge, obviously for the charge keyword. This is a really good, you really want to use this as an opener, because the more they block, the harder the attacks that they can't block will hit. And this one on its own says it wants to be blocked, because if it deals damage, they're losing a foundation. If they have 8 or more foundations, they're losing a foundation. Yeah, I think this is a really cool card. This is going to see quite a bit of play, especially in these charge tribal decks. Next up, Kendo's Big Fist Bash. This is a 4 difficulty, 3 control, 3 mid for 3 with a +3 mid block. That's a lot of 3s. Speaking of a lot of 3s, it has Breaker 3, which is amazing, because this has the All symbol and the Order symbol. So you can play this in Meihatsume 2 to make this a Breaker 4, or with her asset, a Breaker 5. This is going to end turns if you block with this. This is going to... Holy crap. This is a good card already, just stats-wise. 3 mid for 3 is nothing, but defensively, this card packs a punch. But it has a static. When you try to play this card, if you have 3 or more cards in your card pool, it gets -1 difficulty and +2 damage. So it becomes a 3 difficulty, 3 mid for 5, which is already pretty good stat-wise. And it says enhance, discard 2 cards. Add one mid attack not named Big Fist Bash from your card pool to your hand. Alright, so you get to Houston? I'm sorry. Alright, so you guys know I don't edit, so this is staying in, but hopefully you saw how confused I was for a second there. Alright, I touched something on the mouse that I'm not going to touch no more. So this allows you to discard maybe 2 foundations and then pick up another attack, maybe like a focused attack or something, and slam that down for another damage. Yeah, this is a pretty good card. And like I said, that Breaker 3 alone is going to put in some work. Just you watch. Then we have Gigantification Swing. This is a Mount Lady secret, and I think this purple is going to look really good. It's a 5/3, 4 mid for 5 with a +2 high block. This has more symbols. It's got Chaos, Earth, Evil, and Order. So Mount Lady 3 symbols plus Evil for some reason. It's got Charge, Fury, Slam, and Weapon. It says Enhance, spend 1 momentum. Your checks to play Charge, Fury, and Slam attacks get +1 this turn. That's really good, especially as an opener. And then it says Response. After you play this card, important choice of words here, your rival's next check to play a card gets -2. So, if you play it as an attack, your rival's next check to play any card gets -2. More importantly, if you block with this card, your rival's next check to play a card gets -2, and failing this check will end their combat phase. It is effectively built-in Breaker 2 without the Breaker keyword. So it works offensively and defensively. I think this card's going to see a lot of play. Mainly for this response. This is really good, both offensive and defensively. And then offensively, going into a kill turn with a charge theme deck, especially if you can use on order with audio reverberation, this 4 low for 7, and then this 4 mid for 5. So you play this on a 5, discard a momentum, play this on a 6, you check a 5, that check got +1. Sure, you didn't get the 1 extra damage, but you can still deal a whole bunch of damage with it. So yeah, that's going to be really, really neat. Then we have Luna Tijeris? Tiaris? Yeah, we have the Mirko secret. It's a 6/3 with a 3 mid 7 and a +3 mid block. Are all of these mid blocks? No, because that's a high block. So the only secret that's not a mid block is Gigantification Swing. Yeah. So Lunar Tijeris, 6/3, 3 mid for 7 with a +3 mid block. It's got the Mirko 2 symbols of air, death, and fire. It's got Fury, Deadlock, Powerful 4, and Throw. So if your rival's in Deadlock, this is a throw that has Powerful 4. If they have at least 11 foundations, this is a devastating card. This has a static that says it gets -1 difficulty for each card that has left your card pool this turn. Alright, so this is good for your card pool clearing decks like Mirko. And then it says Enhance. If this attack is blocked, your rival discards half their momentum rounded up. That's some really good momentum hate. Because they're not going to want to take this 7 damage, so they're going to want to block it, which as a throw it'll deal minimum 4 damage maybe anyway. But then they lose half their momentum rounded up. That's really good, especially going against some of these momentum hoarding decks like the armor decks for Amajiki. I like it. This is going to be real good. Plus it's got Mirko crushing someone's head between her thighs like a watermelon. So, you know, waifu tax on this is going to be incredible. And our last secret is Net Launcher. The Momo 3 secret. It's a 5/3, 4 mid for 5 with a +1 mid block. It's got Charge and Weapon. It's got Momo 3's symbols of Earth, Good, and Life. It says enhance, commit 3 face-up foundations that do not share a name. So that's your cost. So you have to pick 3 foundations in your stage that are all the same, or all different names. This attack gets +3 speed, +6 damage, and stun 2. So this 4 mid for 5 becomes a 7 mid for 11 stun 2. So with the stun 2, it's effectively a 9 mid 11 for committing 3 foundations. One of those could be the foundation that says after you commit it as a cost, ready it. That's nuts. That alone is scary, because that's a lot of stats. And then enhance, spend 1 momentum, build 1 foundation from your discard pile. Choose 1 foundation in your rival's discard pile, they build the chosen foundation. So you could build the foundation that readies itself after it's committed due to a cost, and then your rival gets the foundation. But if you're going to stun 2 anyway, that basically is like a free stun 1. This card is bloody dangerous. Yeah, this is nuts. Does this share symbols with... No, it does not share symbols with Big Fist Bash, so that's good. Now we're going to move into our reprint cards. These are all from, I believe, the first 2. 2, 3... these are from previous sets, let's say. First up is a reprint character, Ibara Shiozaki. She is a 7 hand size, 19 health character. She has 1 B in student. She's earth, life, and water. She says enhance, this attack gets -1 damage. Your next attack gets +3 damage. So it's reducing the damage of your first attack to give your next attack +3 damage. And then if you use it again, so it's effectively +2 damage. And then your final attack will just get the +3. It's also a free -1 damage to each of your rival's attacks. I know we're dealing with some characters right now that's not going to matter, but for most strings, -1 damage to every attack is pretty good. And then enhance, once per turn, your next low attack ignores progressive difficulty. Thankfully, she is not a walk the dog symbol, or else playing walk the dog on a 4 would be dumb. But she's pretty good. She's seen some play in the past. I think Tim Keefe is really high on her, or at least was at one point. So that should tell you right there that she's pretty good. Next up, we have cards from her kit. Creeping Vine Eruption. This is a 5/3, 2 low for 5 with a +3 high block. It's got the throw keyword and Ibarra's symbols. I wonder why this says C for alternate instead of like an A, or it's a common alternate art. Okay, that makes sense. For some reason I thought character. It says enhance, if this attack deals less than 5 damage, add 1 copy of Faith Shield from your discard pile to your hand. Really solid. What's Faith Shield, you say? Faith Shield is one of the best defensive pieces in the game, but we'll get to that in a second. So next we have Piercing Thorn Lances. This is a 5/3, 4 low for 5 with a +2 high block. It has charge and ranged, and Ibarra's symbols. It says enhance, add 1 other low attack from your card pool to your momentum. So if you play this ignoring progressive difficulty on a 5, you can just get a free momentum right off the bat. And if you have used Ibarra's effect, this is a 4 low for 8. So she also has a Shiozaki enhance, that your rival must reveal a high block as an additional cost to block this attack. So if your rival's been preparing for your low attacks and been ditching their high blocks, this is basically a free 8 damage minimum if you're using Ibarra Shiozaki's ability. And as I was saying, we have Faith Shield, a 2/4 with a +3 mid block. Ibarra's symbols. This is response remove. After you block with this card, this attack deals no damage. Flip this attack after it resolves. So, yeah. This is one of the best defensive tools in the game, and it's barely close. Little close. This is still one of the best blocks to play in the game. As I said in my Vegas review video, I only survived a Byakuo kill turn because I played blocked with 4 face shields in a row, blocking 4 throws. 4 throws coming in for half of my health total each. So the fact that I had 4 face shields was literally the only reason I survived that turn at all. Then it also says Enhance Destroy. This charge or stun attack gets -2 damage. You're almost never building this card. You're always holding it to block with. This card is amazing. Next up, we have a character I'm very disappointed in, Toru Hagakure 2. She's got 6 hand size, 27 health, 1A in Student. She has Air, Good, and Water. She has Enhance. Your rival's block modifier to block this attack gets +1. It gets an additional +1 for every 4 foundations in their stage. So if your rival's got 4 foundations, their block modifier to block this attack gets +2. Really good ability. Really solid. And then she has a response Commit. After your rival plays an attack, add it back to their hand. Look at the top card of your rival's deck. You may discard it. So if they're going to check a 5 or a 6, you can discard it in hopes that they're going to check a 3. If they have a 3 on top, you can leave it and be like, okay, check that 3, commit a bunch of foundations. Really fun to play mind games with this character. The reason I'm upset that this character is in here is I was a huge fan and probably the only believer in Hagakure 1. I really had some good success with her. I almost made Day 2 at Nationals 2 years ago with Hagakure 1 back in the Ojiro 2. Well, I think Ojiro 2 had just been eroded. But the Tokoyami and Kirishima 2 meta. I basically never lost to any Tokoyami, even though Kirishima 2 kind of kicks my face in. So if Hagakure was going to be reprinted, I would have hoped that it would be the one that we don't have anymore because it has rotated. Instead, we get Toru 2, which is still cool. I like Toru, but I just wish it was the other girl. And then we have her ultra rare from Heroes Clash, Invisible Infiltration. This is a 4/3, 3 low for 5 with a +2 mid block. It's got Hagakure 2 symbols and Hagakure Breaker 2. So if your character is Toru Hagakure, you can use this card's Breaker 2 ability. It says Enhance. This attack gets +1 damage for every 4 foundations in your rival's stage. Pretty solid considering she wants to scale up with the block modifiers. And then Enhance, remove 1 foundation from either stage. After this attack resolves, the owner of the removed foundation builds it from their remove from game pile face up. This is a really cool way to unflip your flipped foundations, especially if you've committed them. So you remove a face down committed foundation. After this attack resolves, you gain a face up ready foundation. This is also useful for removing your rival's ready foundations, especially ones with defensive abilities, so they can't be used during this attack, which is pretty cool. And then we have another one of my favorite defensive pieces, Cheerleader. A 2/5 with a +3 mid block and Hagakure 2 symbols. It says Response, remove, spend 1 momentum. After an attack is played, it gains Flash. So, one of the main reasons I was able to do well with Hagakure 1 is she had a similar effect. Once per turn after an attack is played, it gets +2 or -2 speed and gains Flash. So, knowing what my rival wants to do, I was able to give Flash to very key attacks at key times to completely dismantle my rival's offensive strategies. This is also really good for giving one of your attacks Flash if you don't want to deal with defensive enhances. And then it has Hagakure First Form, so you can only play this ability if you are Toru Hagakure. And First Form means the first thing you try to do after drawing your cards, drawing your hand. You flip this card, both players build the top card of their deck face down, only playable if your rival has 8 or fewer foundations. So this is a good way to get to that if your rival has 8 or more foundations zone. But mainly you're using it for the response because that's a very, very good response. Next we have... stop doing that. We have Uwabami, a pro hero. She is a 6 hand size, 25 health character with Chaos, Earth, and Life. She's got the pro hero tag. She says, response, at the start of your rival's end phase, add 1 card from your card pool to your hand. So it allows you to recycle blocks. If you block with an attack, you can pick it back up at the end of their turn. Really good. Then she has enhance, remove 3 cards from your discard pile. So not the top 3. You get to choose. You get to pick and choose which 3 you remove. The next printed 3 damage attack you try to play gets -1 difficulty and +1 damage. That's alright. It's mainly there for the difficulty. The +1 damage doesn't really mean a lot. And then enhance, once per turn, add 1 printed 3 damage attack from your discard pile to your hand. You are effectively a 7-hand size, 25 health character after you play your first enhance, or your first attack. That's really good. Granted, you're dealing with printed 3 damage attacks, but there is no shortage of printed 3 damage attacks in this game. So she coming back with this fancy alternate art is going to be really fun. Next up, we have Aerie! And as much as I hate this card, I love this art. She is so adorable. She is a 2/5 +3 block modifier asset with evil, good, and life. She's got the ally and unique keywords. She has a static that says, while this card is in your stage, at the start of your end phase, ready 1 non-unique asset or foundation that was not readied during this turn's combat phase. Really good. Really good to help go into your rival's turn with more refreshed foundations. And then response, remove, spend 1 momentum. Before the damage step of your rival's attack, reduces damage to your current health -1 to a minimum of 1. So your rival would kill you. Your rival leaves you at 1. I love this art for this card as much as I hate the card Aerie in the first place, because I have a local that always gets it turn 1. Very annoying. But this is just some adorable art of the My Hero Academia best girl. A lot of people are excited for this one. Instant Shining Flash. This is an Aoyama 1 card from the first My Hero set. It is a 4 difficulty, 3 control, 4 high for 4 with a +1 low block. It's got death, earth, and life. Its keywords are charge, ranged, and weapon. This says enhance, flip 1 foundation. The next card you try to play this turn gets -1 difficulty. Pretty solid. And then response, after you play this card, not attack, your rival spends 1 momentum. So if you block with it, they lose a momentum. If you play it as an attack, they lose a momentum. Really good for keeping some of these momentum hog decks in check, especially a Mirio who wants to make everything low. Then lastly, we have the Wild Wild Pussycats. This is a 2/5 with a +2 mid-block and the ally keyword, death, fire, and life for its symbols. It says response, after you block an attack with this card, that attack loses echo. So all of these powerful echo attacks running around, cards like Trace Eyes or Storm of Blades, you block with this, it loses echo. They don't get to play that no more. And then form, flip, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 foundation revealed this way to your hand, and discard the rest. So this is a good way to, at the end of a string, if you need more foundations to build or you want to try to get more blocks, you can pick up more blocks from your the top of your deck, basically. And that's it. Unless they finally show us the alternate win condition card, and I haven't missed it. Feel free to call me out in the comments if I've missed it. Yeah, that is the entirety of Girl Power. So no alternate win condition yet. Maybe that's going to be the... maybe they're going to have a redemption card, like a new redemption promo. I know we were doing monthly promos instead of quirk packs or tournament packs, but I know the organized play is in a bit of a state of flux, so maybe they're going to do redemption exclusives for each set, like they have been doing for the Challenger Series with the alternate arts. And then we have the alternate art Yoko form from Dark Tournament. So maybe they'll start doing redemption exclusive cards. So instead of getting them at your local game store, you can get them on the redemption. Or maybe they're going to make the monthly organized play cards, not simply alternate arts of cards in the set. Maybe you'll get a monthly card that's a one-of, so instead of getting a pack with like 10 or 12 cards that you have to collect them all, you get one monthly card, which if you play 4 weeks, you get a play set. I think that'd be pretty cool. So maybe that's how they're going to do it. I could definitely see that working and being a good idea. But that is the entirety of Girl Power. So now, the Hermit can get ready building his day zeros while I'm on vacation. So I will see you guys in a week. I'm going to try to get 1 or 2 more videos uploaded before then. Hopefully the last 2 preview reviews and 1 or 2 deck profiles. I'm going to be a little bit busy today and tomorrow. But I'll get what I can uploaded before I leave. And after I get back, I'll have much more content for you guys. So stay tuned until the next time. Take care.